I'm the husband of one wife, the father of one son. Life should be simple for me, but I'm somewhat of a musician. My name is Hovig. Welcome to my podcast, Drop a Note. Happy New Year, everyone. Usually the day after New Year's Eve, that's January 1, is a lazy day. We try to continue digesting all the food from the night before and walk around the house in our pajamas aimlessly like zombies. But today, January 1, 2024, I had one of my most productive days ever. And of course, this is thanks to my wife, my son, and my mother-in-law visiting from Sweden, because they recognize when I have that look in my eyes of wanting to produce and finish something that's been buzzing in my head, and they give me the space and, more importantly, the quietness required to do it. Of course, I'm not saying this in order to make the rest of you feel guilty for having an unproductive and lazy January 1. But as my wife often says, you also need people to be listeners. So thank you for being lazy today and just listening. Okay, more seriously. Today I have recorded a new piece of piano music that I've been working on through the Christmas holidays. It's a new thing for me because this is the first time I've written a waltz. The title is Pyrgos Waltz, named after our village here in Cyprus. It will be released at the end of this month. More on that later and through my socials. And today, I also had the opportunity to interview concert pianist Gile Bae. We met Gil during a recent trip to Hamburg, where our son performed at the International Steinway Piano Festival. Gil has been listening to Drop a Note since then, and we managed to find a slot in her busy travel schedule to record for this episode today. Cyprus calling the Netherlands. Hello, Gil.
Hi, Hovig.
Nice to reconnect. Gil, tell me a bit about your passion for the piano. I know that you started playing at a young age, and just tell me where it comes from.
Well, my mother is actually a violinist, and she studied in Vienna, and she moved to the Netherlands when she was quite young, actually about my age. So, she listened always to classical music, and she was playing it as well when she was pregnant of me. So I saw her playing the violin when I was very little, and she was practicing and giving also some lessons to little children. And one day when I was 4 years old, I asked her to buy me a violin. So I started playing the violin, and I had a very nice teacher. And she told me that to play the violin, you should know also to play the piano. So for the notes and for the intonation, everything. And I think I preferred to play the piano because I tried to continue only with the piano, and also because my parents, they said to me, like, it's better to choose one instrument to do properly than to play a lot of different kinds of instruments if I wanted to continue in this music, in this way of living. So that's why I started with the piano, and I was very lucky to meet a very good teacher, and she was her name is Marlies van Gent, and she was the piano teacher of the young talent class in the Royal Conservatory of The Hague. And 1 year after I practiced with her, I got admitted to the Royal Conservatory of The Hague.
What fascinates me is that you started with the violin at 4 years old, and then you switched to the piano, and then as a 5-year-old, you're already as a piano soloist. And I saw the clip when you played in South Korea. You're playing, I think, Haydn's Piano Concerto. Very cute. You're a little girl, and I think they had to put something for your feet because you couldn't reach the pedals, obviously.
By the way, this pedal was heavy, and we had to bring it from the Netherlands to Korea. So it was a concert in Seoul. Right. And I remember that a lot of people around me, so my parents and my teacher, were getting crazy about this pedal because it was so heavy.
But that's amazing because like in 1 year roughly you were able to get to the level of performing with an orchestra in Seoul and I'm playing brilliantly. So obviously you child prodigy talent, and then of course your mother encouraging you.
Well, my parents were very nice actually, because they always told me like, if you're having fun doing it, then we will support you in any way, and otherwise you can just stop and do something else. I was very free in choosing this path, so I never felt obliged. And of course, I had this great fortune that I met this teacher, Marlies van Gent, which is actually like a second mother to me, of course. So.
Tell me that experience of playing as a 5-year-old. Do you remember still quite a bit of it?
About the playing, not so much. I remember that my Marlies van Gent, my ex-teacher, she came with me for the concert. And during the rehearsals, I said to her, like, please, you have to sit there. And let's say, for example, I choose the second seat in the fourth row. Mm-hmm. And I remember that when I went on stage, I remembered perfectly where she was sitting. And so I waved to her, just, very naturally. And I don't, I can remember it like it was just fun. And
I'm going to put a link for that clip in the podcast notes because I think it'd be very, very nice for people to see. And I love the place at the end when the conductor comes and kisses your hand, and it's just so charming and beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, it was very nice. Yeah.
So tell me the Korean background for you. I mean, obviously, was the Seoul trip part of your background and connections with Korea?
Yeah, I am fully Korean blooded. Mm-hmm. My parents are both South Korean, but my mother is born in Austria and my father is born in Holland. Mm-hmm. And so, me and my sister, we are both born in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. But, I actually don't know a lot of things about my country of origin. And I even don't speak the language that well. I can understand some things, but let's say it's not my mother language. But right. I would really love to know much more. And actually, tomorrow I will go to Seoul for 2 weeks because I have some meetings. And that will be the first time in a very long time because I have been there, for the concert, of course, when I was 5 years old. And then after 10 years, I went to a trip in Australia. And on the way back home, we stopped a few days in Korea. But I don't remember that well. The country. So I'm very curious to see it. I really love to create an connection, a stronger connection, of course.
Yeah. So if I ask you now, Gil, you feel more Dutch than anything else, I guess, correct?
Well, it's a funny story. I have dreams in Italian. Okay. Because I lived, of course, a long time in the Netherlands where I was born. But then when I was 8, I started to go to these summer courses and master classes in Italy, where I got lessons from Franco Scala, who's a teacher and founder of the Accademia Pianistica of Imola. It's nearby Bologna. And so when I finished my school in Holland, I moved actually to Imola. So when I was 15, I moved and I didn't speak a word of Italian except for pizza margherita and buongiorno, of course.
The essentials.
Yeah, you can get very far with these words. So, and actually, I've been staying in Italy since then. So, I feel Dutch. Yes, I always will have a feeling. A strong feeling of being Dutch, but I have to say that I feel very at home and at ease in Italy as well.
And you're the kind of personality that I know when my wife Anna and I met you, we felt like you were really easy to talk with and fun, and we just were enjoying the time with you. And I think that seems to be coming through also in your in your music also, and when you perform, you engage with whether it's an orchestra and the audience. Would you say music helps you express your personality and your feelings? How does it shape you as a person?
Well, actually, that would be the most logical thing to say. But I think I am like this because of the music. So my personality is created by the music. So the other way around.
Okay.
Especially when you said also about the orchestra and how I play with them. I never felt like playing as a soloist so detached from the orchestra, and I always try to put it as a chamber music performance. So you play with other people, and I think you should also try to connect with these people and how their way of making music. So I think this is something, and the same thing with the public, of course.
Yes.
And I can feel also that every time I play at a concert, I play differently because each public is different. Each public has another energy and another way of connecting with you. So it's quite funny always to see how these kind of things work out.
Did you ever have a time where you got tired of the piano and you wanted to stop, or other interests?
It's a kind of a deep secret of mine, but yes, it's, when you're young, you want to stop because maybe there's something other fun thing to do which you cannot attend because you have to practice or you have a concert or you have other duties. So that's one thing. Nowadays, these kind of problems are not a problem anymore because, when you have a lifetime of sacrificing things, then it becomes also one of the habits, But nowadays, the problem more is that you see how the world changes and how big the difference is between musicians nowadays and many years ago. So let's say in the time of Rubinstein, of Michelangelo, a musician lived in another world, Music was more religion, so people had more respect for it. Nowadays, I can feel sometimes that people tend to go with the fashion. So once it's rap, and then it's trap, and then it's whatever. And I feel like the world of classical music is a little bit paying the consequences of this, and it's quite sad to see this sometimes.
Yeah. Do you see it as part of your mission? I don't know what other word to use. Making classical music not just more accessible to your concerts, but also make it more enjoyable, maybe for the younger audience, through who you are.
Well, it's not a priority, but of course it helps if it works that way, in that way too. I try to not change at all my way of playing or way of behaving just to get an audience or just to get attention from another kind of public. A lot of times I see these artists which are also talented and very very, very good artists and musical people. They tend to sell themselves, let's say, in a way I wouldn't do. Well, because, I'm still playing classical music, and I think you have to keep yourself to some of the codes, It's a unwritten rule, I think. So, it's not my mission, but of course I hope that my way of playing brings also younger people to concerts, to classical music, to bring them closer. So,
You've produced a record with Bach's music, and I think I'm right to saying that. Is he your favorite composer?
Yes.
Okay.
And many years I said no. I have also other favorite composers. I like to play. I love Chopin. I love Brahms, Schubert, Schumann, everything. But yes, I think Bach is my favorite composer.
And the question I want to ask, I think we discussed this also when you were in Hamburg. When you're playing Bach, obviously his music has been played for many years by many pianists. What do you bring to his music that is different when you perform? How do you approach it? Do you listen to other performers playing the same piece from before, or do you approach it with as much as you can, a fresh page, and you come up with your interpretation of the piece within the rules of the genre, of course?
I never listened to other pianists before, and that's only because I want to know what's my version. So if you listen to other interpretations, then you tend to take something over, but not because you want to copy it, but you get influenced by it. So I try to to not listen to other ways of playing this piece, and when I'm sure about my version of the piece, then I can confront it.
Right.
But then the funny thing is that if even then you're like, oh, my version is better, then it means really that it's your version. It's really something coming from you, and that's the biggest satisfaction which you can have.
Right.
That
Of
you
course.
feel like your way of performing it is much more clear than the others, or that you agree with yourself, let's say. So
It confirms that you've done the right job. And if the others are playing the same way you did, then they probably copied you without knowing, right?
Yes,
that's
yes,
what you can say.
indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I agree. Now,
I can talk for hours, but I know time you have to run to the airport. I know that you're very busy traveling around. But I want to ask you about a special, let's call it the creatures in your life, because I know you have not one, but more than one dog, correct?
Yes.
What's the latest number? How many?
5. There are actually 6, but one pup we gave away. With my heart still breaks a little bit when I say this. But I have 5 Yorkshires, and I have to say they are the light points in my life. And
One of them is that the mother or the father?
there's one of them which is always traveling with me, and that's the father.
And the name of the father?
Became 9, and his name is Tommy, for France, and on the passport Prince Thomas. So he's a noble man, and
Right. So Thomas travels with you
yes,
to your concerts.
yeah.
And he's there in the dressing room before you come on stage and so on. And I know one incident. Yes, I'm going to mention that because I'm going to show that clip too. Tell us about that one incident where Tommy decided not to stay in the dressing room.
Well, I was having this concert in a beautiful church nearby Venezia in Portogruaro, and he was waiting in the waiting room with me. And when I went out, I said to the lady who opens and closes the door, like, stay put and keep attention to the dog that he doesn't come out. But he just followed me on stage, and I didn't see him actually until not until the time I sat down. So I saw his tail moving between my feet. I was like, what's that? And then I looked down and I was like, oh my god, my dog came out. So I picked him up and I brought him back, and people were laughing in the hall, and it was quite an entertainment.
Well, that's brilliant. That's brilliant because that's your life.
He could have stayed there and he wouldn't do anything, and he was just lie down near my feet like he always does when I practice.
I will share that clip also for the listeners to have to watch that, and it's quite funny and very cute. Tell us before we finish, Gil, your future plans. You said you're going to South Korea, but any other things coming up this year?
Very exciting news. I have been working around COVID in the years after of a very nice project with the Bach concertos with the Archi di Santa Cecilia, is a chamber orchestra in Rome. And we made this video audio thing in 6 different places. in Italy. So like for Piemonte della Misericordia is in Naples in front of this very big painting of Caravaggio. And in Teatro Abbado in Ferrara and Teatro Fraschini at Pavia. Sala dei Giganti is a very big hall with these great paintings in Padova, and etc. etc. And it has been just finished, so it will come out with the label Arcana, which is the label out here music internationally. And in the meantime, I have recorded a very nice CD in July with this fantastic producer, Michael Fine, and his wife, Tammy. We made this recording in the Netherlands, in Hilversum, with toccatas of Bach and the Concerto Italiano and the Schumann Humoresque. And it has just been finished a few days ago. When I was in the Netherlands, I listened to the final Dolby Atmos mix, and it's something astonishing. So
exciting. Wow.
Yeah, it is very much. And so that will come out soon as well. And I have another pair of recordings with the 24 preludes of Chopin in March, and 2 concertos of Mozart in April, and then 2 concertos of Chopin in October, and November another concerto of Mozart. So actually, this year and then next year, I think it will be full of surprising new CDs. And in the meantime, I'm going to Korea now, and then I have a concert in the Louvre of Paris on the 23rd of January. Then I have to go to Oman in the Royal Opera House of Muscat for a recital on the 29th, and then I have a very nice concert with a lot of preludes and fugues of Bach and the preludes of Chopin in Trieste on the 7th of February, etc., etc. So I'm very excited about all of these, and I hope I will send you of course some of the new CDs which are coming out soon.
We enjoy listening to the CD you gave us already. Really loved it, and you have a very busy and fulfilling year ahead, it looks like. I think the only thing missing is for you to take a trip to Cyprus. Maybe I should arrange that. And bring Tommy with you, and he can become friends with Simba, our dog. Yeah. No, but honestly, thank you so much for this chat.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
I hope that the listeners will connect with your music and follow you. And it's been a just honor to have you. Thank you, Gile.
It was very nice to meet you.
Likewise. Take care.
Bye-bye.
You can find the links I mentioned in the interview in the text info of this episode, as well as Gile's website and Instagram links. Enjoy watching and listening to the works of this super talented pianist. Hey, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Drop a Note. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you would tune in next time when I talk again about music and life and everything in between. Until then, my name is Hovig, and I'm somewhat of a musician.